that thing blocked? I don't know. It looks okay. We got the phone cooler on here, so we're just trying that out today. Seeing if that's doing anything, if anything is charging, which it's not. So it does not appear. Hey Ronnie, how you doing? Does not appear this thing even wants to charge. Is that thing even sticking in? I don't know. It looks like that's charging. Oh man, what a nightmare. This heat is just kills all this equipment. Hey Noreen, hey Mystery. How are you, Ronnie? Alright. It's about 1,000,001 degrees. Hey Catherine. Oh yeah, it's plenty hot. Plenty hot. I'm trying to get used to using this cooler. Takes up a lot of the back of the phone, and you still have to be able to put a clip on it to be able to walk around, but it's like the temperatures dropped down to about 107. Of course, all these people have taken up, not every slot. We'll be talking about that. Please hit the thumbs up button. It is very appreciated. We can't seem to get this thing to take a charge, although as soon as I grabbed this cup of coffee, I immediately felt cooled down. Oh yeah, there we go. All right. We have to be very careful with this because the slightest little... I'm running this without a case on it. And it still feels very, very hot. Yeah, we're charging. I can't believe it. Yeah, you got to have it. It's the only way to remove the heat at 107 degrees. You've got to got to be holding something hotter than you are. All right, here we go. So we're doing a little testing here today. And gotta get this thing in position. How about now? Are you getting sound now? Are you getting sound now? Okay, you have sound. That's good. Okay. I was wondering. Yeah, maybe you have to turn up your volume. Because this is going to be very, very difficult. Please tap the thumbs up if you're coming in. We have closing in on 50 people. We only have 7 thumbs up today, and I'm out here trying my best in these conditions. I'm trying to add 10 more degrees on top of this today to see what it's going to feel like in Vegas. What's up, Lee? How are you? Yeah, you actually need to put this whole phone into a jacketed electronic cooler. Is this thing running without the case on it? It's very easy to push the off button and cause the thing to go off, which is okay, because you have 5 minutes to get back to your live stream before it automatically shuts off. Well, I think it's in your system, Alan, so somebody might tell Alan that check his mute or check his volume. Check your volume, make sure your volume button is up on it. Oh. Let's have a potato in the ear. Well. See if that's a little, see if you're getting sound now. Yeah, blue skies and way up there in temperature. This is a good trialing for Las Vegas. I have to figure out a way to make 2 cords look like one, so I don't like I'm carrying a spy operation. You know, it's bad enough I'm probably going to get killed, you know, for people wondering if I'm fed or something. Supposed to be cooling off ever so slightly. Hey, how you doing, Nicole? I'm doing all right, honey. I'm just doing a little heat trial testing today to see if we're going to be able to sustain. Why in the hell is this wheel sticky? What the hell is on that? All right, let's get deep in the hole here. Get deep in the shade. All right. Get in the hole. All right. Yeah, we had about 105 today, which was down a couple degrees from yesterday, which was kind of welcome. I'm feeling this cooler. I don't know if I'm going to turn this around for a second. Let me turn it in. Yeah, it should be running. The phone is actually taking a charge. This is Skunk Work Trials at its finest right here, man. This is really bad. I'm waiting to just smell something burn up here. It's either going to be this battery pack, which is now running a cooler, which is clipped on the back of the phone, but not in the best possible way. But yet the phone is taking a charge right now, which is pretty amazing. But I might have to twist these together so it looks like a single cord, so that you know, people don't freak out. I don't know. I can tell you at this point in time that good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well, and good evening. I can tell you right now, Las Vegas is looking a little bit shaky. Okay, because hey, Ron, how you doing? Because every time that I go to check the weather, the situation gets worse and worse. You know, imagine you come in on a Tuesday and you're there when they set the new all-time high temperature. Right, I don't even know what this guy's gonna yell at me. No, you can't modify a beer cooler. That's not going to do it. You need more horsepower than that, man. This ain't no joke, Gordon Ramsay. This is out there risking life and limb on these heats, on these asphalts, because the air temperature in Las Vegas may be 117, but the ground temperature is anywhere from 122 to 127 degrees. And that is unsustainable for human life. I don't know what the humidity level is going to be. Still 100 and yeah, 100 plus in Modesto. So you have to. It has to basically be sustainable down there. And I mean, I don't know. In other words, I got to make sure it's going to be worth it to me, because I can do a lot of stuff. It is hell in Nevada right now. It's nothing but a frying pan, and I can't imagine Justin working emergency services on the strip. I don't imagine many people are out and about in the sunlight, but I'll tell you, anybody that keels over in that, right, meteorological issues in force. You can't go out to the pool. You can stand to be in the sunlight for about 5 minutes, and then you better have shade, which means unless you get there in the morning, all of the shade is taken by 10 a.m. So the pools are really useless, which is kind of the way they want it. They don't want you in the pool, they want you in the casino, where it's super air conditioned, and they want you sitting there putting money into those machines. Everything is geared psychologically to get you to sitting at those machines. There's no benches in Las Vegas, if you've ever noticed. There's no place for people to sit down on the sidewalks. There's no sitting areas, very few. Some of the old school hotels still have seats in lobby area, but none of the new ones do, because they want you in motion. And they want you sitting in those nice comfortable chairs in front of those slot machines. They pull it home. They are locals, no casinos. Yeah, so please tap the like button if you're coming in. I'm running the cooler right now. It's drawing a lot of power. This is where the heat is now. It's already down to 94% power, which means I probably have to take multiple power packs. Gonna get a hell of a sunburn. Well, I will have my I do have my cowboy hat in here. I'm going to strip the van out, so I'm traveling very light. I don't want any stress on the engine or transmission at all. So you know, the transmission was acting a little, I don't know, just a little kooky first thing this morning, and I hope that's not a developing problem. So I don't know. You know, it's only oh, Mr. Z. I'm looking at next week, bud. 118. And I'm thinking, how am I going to survive the street stream at 118? Holy smokes. And good to see you, Mr. Z. I mean, chances are I'm coming, but I really, you know, I don't have any AC in the vehicle. And that desert crossing is, so basically you have to be transportation when they're you know, that desert crossing, it's going to be almost biblical, right? It's almost going to be like a passage out of, you know, the Exodus or something. Carry water. Oh, I got 2 cases of water in here. 2 cases. Have you been in? Yeah, I grew up in Baltimore, honey, on Chesapeake Bay, which is like a big bathtub. Yep. No, I can't drive at night. I can't drive at night. I got no place to stay when I get there at, you know, in the morning and all that. Ain't gonna happen. And that does nothing to alleviate the concerns on the street. You know, when you're out there starting your live stream at 2 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon, you're basically inserting yourself right into the, what they call the heat ramp right there. And you have to hope that your body core dissipates heat faster than it's coming in from the outside, because it basically, you're putting yourself into an oven. Good to see you, Mr. Z. Hope you pop in later and say hi. Get home, get cooled off. I'm sure for you it's been a hellish day in working the cranes. But this is unprecedented heat for Las Vegas, and I thought, wouldn't that be ironic? I was already there last time in 2021, July 13th of 2021 or something. I was already there when they set the new record. I was right there in Vegas. Wouldn't that be something if I roll in on Tuesday and the day they establish a new all-time record for Las Vegas? I'm not sure, honey. One thing is for sure, I'm definitely going to LA. That's for sure. Because I will basically be through the Central Valley before it really gets a chance to get super hot down there. In other words, if I leave here at 5 a.m. in the morning, I'll be going up the Grapevine at, you know, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, 10:30, and by 11:30 I'll be over the hump and down into the LA basin down there. And then there's, you know, they're only in the 70s right now. Current Tech here live. I'll tell you now, that Current Tech here live stream isn't going to make it. I know it's not. I mean, but the point is, right now, I'm actually taking it's actually charging the phone right now, which is amazing. And the cooler is running. Hey, Harvey. Well, I don't particularly think my unit has AC in it, but I'm not particularly worried about the prison industrial. I can sleep well when it's 100 degrees, not an issue. How you doing, Amanda? I had to get up and close the window this morning. You just can't. It's 70. Yeah, well. So we're trying out the gear. So far, so good. It's just I have to be very careful when I mount it on the stick. You know, when we do a vertical stream, that thing gets mounted like this, right? Which really pisses people off when they see this. And now they're going to see multiple cords coming down, and you know, if these grabbers hit it in the wrong area, and you got to be able to get the be able to get the cooling fan on the back of it too, without turning off the thing. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna make the call. The good news is it's sundress season. So if there's any good news around here. The other good news, I'll probably have a truck in September that I have a line on. It's a smaller version than Bobby's, or it might be the same one. It's like a Nissan pickup truck. It's out of Texas. I might have a line on that for free. And it's relatively low miles. So I can never sleep in such heat. Yeah, there's leaks all over the AC system. I have no problem. I was in Detroit and Chicago when they had high heat warnings, sleeping in this with the windows up. With just having the little fan running, the portable fan. You know, high heat doesn't bother me when I'm sleeping. I mean, by 3 o'clock in the morning, I already had the blanket up on me. So. But luckily we do seem to be taking a charge, so it just might be untenable to go down. I mean, if I do go down, I'm going to get a lot of stuff done during the daytime, and we're not going to be live. You know, street streaming every night. That's for sure. But I've got to be able to keep the phone cool, and I'm just disappointed there doesn't seem to be any better evolved technology, although the cooler works very well. But it takes up the whole back. It wants to take up the whole back. Free is a very good deal, so I think to myself, okay, let's put the brakes on the car thing, because if somebody is gonna, and it's a family member, and if somebody is going to drop a truck, low mileage, pretty decently kept, in your lap for free, right? Okay, Harvey, it's good to see you. It's also great to see Mr. Z in here, still practicing. So the way I see it is, I leave LA and I come in on a Tuesday. Yeah, I can leave early in the morning, and I can probably be through the most wretched of the heat of the desert by about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I could just bail into the church for a couple hours and hang out at the office. You know, if Father's not avoiding me or whatever, or ghosting me, and then check in around 3 o'clock or so. So then once I'm in Vegas, I'm like pretty good, right? I mean, we can always make a go or have a live stream. Even if the street streaming fails, we can still get the we can still be in the casino, you know, playing the machines or something, or hanging out, doing some localized chooching or whatever. So, you know, so I think once we're there, it's okay. I'm going to be pressed into service, which is fine. I mean, there's a lot of people that aren't able to help in the extreme heat of setting up to feed people. I would be proud to throw myself into that on the asphalt and help with that in the morning. Um, I think that would be that would be very beneficial to the people that are there the rest of the year, but just can't cope with extremely. When you're trying to set up on 120 degree, you're basically setting up on the surface of the sun. So it's a big orange thing. Yes, it is. And then, every other day seeing Mr. Z and, on the weekends and hanging out and then checking in with Monkey Boy and stuff like that. I'll be pretty much covered at that point, right? And then, when I go to leave Las Vegas, I'll be leaving at 4 a.m. in the morning on a Monday, and I will be well out of the high desert by, 9 a.m. in the morning. Where's car, boss and Janet? Yeah, Tammy, it's got 192,000 miles on it. And the front end seems a little bobbly, right? And I'm just like, the worst thing that would happen is that I go down in that 1990 Kia Spectra with 192,000 miles, and that thing just blows up down there. That was just local backup transportation for me. So if I can hang on until September, then, it might not be mine, but I might have the use of the truck. So, on the daily, oh, well, I think it's weird, odd weather. Yeah, people get weird. So basically, the only zone I see that's critical for me is the stretch between LA and Las Vegas, because basically I'll be coming in at the time that Las Vegas is setting a new all-time high temperature. And I've been on the surface recording in Hinckley, California when it's 122 degrees at ground level, doing the story about Aaron Brockovich and the poisoning of the ground in Hinckley, California. And literally you have goosebumps. Your body's trying to throw off heat so much that it's expanding your skin by raising goosebumps, which is acting like a radiator. You almost feel this sudden reversal where you feel cold all of a sudden. It's really a weird phenomenon. So, as long as we're moving, I'll be okay. It'll be all right. So that'll be the real challenge. Will be if I have stop and go traffic in Vegas or something, which I'll have some. But you know what? I'm gonna have the fan there. I'm gonna have a fan back here, and I got the neck fan. So it's gonna look like somebody might shoot me on the street and think I'm an alien walking around or something. I don't know. Or else we could just bag the whole thing until a little later when this is really unprecedented levels of heat that are hitting. Yeah, you too, Harvey. I've been that hot. Yeah, you literally electrolytes for your water. Well, they wouldn't get here in time, but it's a very nice thought. So Friday, I'm going to try to go down to the REI store and at least get some salt tablets or something, or some electrolytes to add in to it. But I might just bail at the end of the day. I might say, you know what, I'm just going to postpone it, because I have to see at the end if it's going to be worth it. I know on the church volunteer side, it's all good. I got plenty of work to do. And of course, everybody's going to love see the street stream, but it's a question of keeping that crap going, right? With the dire, my phone is white on the back of it, which helps. The case, I purposely bought a white case so it wouldn't absorb as much heat. This weather can cause heat strokes, etc. Yeah. You have to be careful that your core temperature doesn't exceed a certain level, or else you start to get delusional and you start to hallucinate and things like that. But we have a lot of other opportunities to go live and to do some stuff too that doesn't entail so much. Yeah, I did a whole video about taking you to the town of Hinckley where the ground was poisoned by PG&F. I don't know how many homeless people survive in the heat. Stay under the shade. I don't know. Let me qualify that. The only place I've ever seen people, and this is, God have mercy on these people and love these people, is down in Las Vegas when I'm around working down at the church. And there's people that are just sort of catty corner across the street, and they're just laying on the sidewalk in the open sunshine, and they don't even have the strength to pull themselves into a shady area. They're so whacked out, and I just think, oh. So Father wasn't kidding when he said in our interview that when he first got down there, the EMS was taking bodies away, once or twice a week between overdoses and heat, and people were skeletal down there then, and now you don't have that so much now. Right. So it's a very, very tough situation. So I want to get in there. My main thrust is to help out and do some good, do something positive. Now that I cleared the decks for with the Rancho, to do something positive and come back feeling pretty good about that, and then get into our usual hijinks of now it's time to get out and do metal detecting and getting in and getting in deeper into our radio stuff again and our repairs. But I am working very hard to help them try to raise money for their parish hall and and get some publicity and all that. So there's a lot to keep me busy. Yeah, it's so you got to really think about it. If I ever, let's put it this way, if I hit a backup or a jam, let's say there's a 5-mile backup because they're doing some construction on I-15 at the Nevada border or something. That's my biggest dread right there. That you're in a inching backup where you can get no airflow, and you're just watching your temperature gauge in your vehicle go up. Now I don't think they do that when it's super high heat. I don't know if they put the road crews out to work unless it's an emergency. When it's above, say, 110 degrees for routine road stuff. But I see these people laying on the ground, and I'm just like, you could literally cook breakfast on the ground, and they're just laying there, and they're just, the perspiration is just flowing off of them, and then it reaches a point, some of them, where you stop perspiring because you're into full heat stroke. They have Gatorade, water there, bro. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that's handed out there. Yes. Yeah. Nobody gets turned away to ask help, and also there's proactively reaching out and helping too. I'll typically keep a case of water in the car, and if I see somebody on the side of the road, if I'm running down to Lowe's in Vegas on Charleston and I see somebody freaking roasting on the side of the road, it's kind of in a zombie mode, I'll stop and give them a couple waters or something. And because they're, you reach a point where you're incapable of even taking care of yourself. How you doing, Amanda? You might need to risk it for the... Yeah, I'm not averse to it, right? I'm not shying away from it. But I'm saying it's a question of how much are people in the chat going to sustain when, oh shit, I accidentally moved the stick so the stream cut off and the phone shut down. Now I got to restart it. you know, I mean, the YouTube, Samsung gives you no warning, right? It just shuts down the phone, right? It might shoot a message across, shutting down due to high heat or something. In other words, it might be a huge exercise in total frustration. Who knows? Now we're risking everything. It's hot, yeah. Now I got a couple advantages. Number one, I don't dislike heat. I enjoy hot weather, so I acclimate very well to hot weather. Number two, I'm gonna carry plenty of water with me, and also be able to duck in here and there into, say, like a Circle K or something like that, to just lower the body temperature and things like that. So yeah, it's tough. So there's it's very brutal in the summer, because the need is still super high. It's incredible. You're going through 5 to 10 cases of water a day down there, and trying to keep up. And even when you go out there at 9 o'clock in the morning to set up tables to start feeding, and it's already 98 degrees, and by the time you're done it's like 105, and you got to break all that stuff down, put it away, clean up, and then it's so a lot of people don't do that during the summertime, so the need is extreme. So that's one thing I feel like that I can spell some people that can't, some of the older folks that just can't they can't stand up to the high temperatures. When is that hot? The shirt you're wearing now looks very warm to me. It's a knit shirt. Hey, Cindy. Yeah, how you doing, honey? Cindy's a Phoenix gal. She knows. So there's an old saying in videography and in YouTube, and it goes like this: extreme weather makes for great videos. Extreme weather conditions make for great videos. And I would classify surviving in the heat, it's almost like the equivalent of somebody climbing Mount Everest or something like that. It's almost a test of endurance to see if you have what it takes. Right? You punch your ticket, it's like, yeah, I did it. You can look back and say, yeah, I was there in record-breaking heat. Not that that's anything, but there's a little element of pride to it, of being able to accomplish something like that. Oh, yeah, the heat's not good. Yeah, the heat ain't a joke. Yeah, so otherwise, Mr. Z and we could be going bowling and going shooting and stuff, and always do some cookouts and fun stuff like that. And this is certainly not going to be every night, but probably every other night or something like that. So, I would like to. God, I had a dream last night. I mean, I couldn't even imagine Naked City in mid-July amidst the record temperatures, what that place would be like down there. When that sun goes down, everybody's sitting in their cars. Everybody. Doors open. Like, man, what are you doing? What are you all about, bro? Ran one out of their church. So I would like to help in that regard. Oh well. Keep cursing. Guys looking around like, who said that? Love these guys just walk along cursing. I don't know why so many people whose brains get fried end up cursing all the time. Yeah, you look at it like it was quite an adventure. You look at it, you try the first time and it's so miserable that you drop back to plan B, right? But I just think to myself, if I can hold on till September, then I get some wheels. Well, I always do, Tammy. I've been committed for, the better part of a year and a half now. I'm not going anywhere, right? It's the most dire situation I've ever seen in my life. So I'm on that like a barnacle. You can't scrape me off of that. I ain't going anywhere. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. And you might have to adjust the schedule that, we're running at starting at 6 p.m. and running to midnight. But, then you have the issue of trying to get something to eat. What gloves do you have in your car? Sell us your anger. Who's angry? Oh, this guy over here. Not me. This guy was walking along, and these guys always end up cursing. And I never figured out why. There's a little bit of a breeze blowing. I think the worst of the heat wave is over for up here. Well, the weather makes people angry in proportion to how down and out they are. How much their life sucks is a good proportional indicator of how angry they're going to be. Anybody tell this is holler? Oh, I don't know. I think it's not hollering, Ronnie. It's why is it always cussing? I use Wells Lamont gloves. Yeah, Gordon's always screaming at people. Let's see. Yeah, we're supposed to have. Yeah, it's 100 even right now. It's just strange. With the higher you go up in temperature, the exponentially worse you feel. In other words, 90 to 100 is one level, but then 100 to 110 is like 4 times worse than the previous level. And then you go from 110 to 120, now you're like 8 times worse than that. Nobody's on that trolley today. Ain't nobody eating out either. If you have any, would you wear them both just for me while you're live streaming? I don't think I have any. I think I have some when I was distilling, but I'd have to dig them out. They might be rotten by now. When I used to be cooking up grains and working, making moonshine. I just can't imagine what people's power bills are going to look like. Come August, you're going to hear explosions going off over. Lots of live people wearing both hands, just 3-way live streaming as well. Well, I hear you. And to think, I like to just do something boring like to make dinner. I guess I should start grabbing some gloves or something. I don't know. Yeah, my dirty day time to go. All right, Mr. Z, take care. Pop in later if you want when you're nice and cool and no, he had it on just while he's riding home, just negotiating traffic. I'm just leaving the yard. Okay. Well, I got plenty of gloves, knit gloves, mittens, all kinds of stuff. That's cool, Tammy. Feels like a breeze is stirring tonight. The club's the club. Rams is like, I never wear bloody gloves made in the kitchen. I'd fire anybody in me staff if I seen them wearing gloves. How else can you feel the temperature? Shit. Well, Gordon, we could, excuse me, Chef Ramsay, we could use the thermometer. You know what? Get the fuck out of me kitchen. Don't ever come back again. I don't need no plonker. When have you ever seen me use I never use a thermometer. I used one the other night. Randy's like, what chef uses a bloody thermometer, mate? What are you at the Sizzler Steakhouse? Punch out of here. Get out of here. I think to use the cooler is only for the most extreme when the sun's up. Now, the sun dips in Las Vegas at about 8 p.m. now, which is about an hour, about 45 minutes before it does up here. 7-inch crab, live jimmies, love it. Love it, some nice jimmies. I just think it's a reward at the end of the night. Those 2 Bush Light and that meatball sauce. Is it getting better than that, guys? Amanda hug and kiss be like, yeah, but I still hope somebody tries to kill you and screams at you for using a camera on the streets. Maybe we'll see Skater Boy again. Yeah, well, that's, to me, it does irrelevant whether it starts or not. It's going to be hot. Mr. Z's always got the short take on stuff. We're gonna call this series "The Brutal Streets of Vegas." This heat is brutal on batteries. Yes, it is. And I'm just curious how fast this one battery for me will never survive a 8-hour stream. Because once I get to the atomic, then I can pretty much chill out and still enjoy another hour or so of live stream. I forgot, what time did the kitchen close? Was it 9 or 10? Was it 9 o'clock? Well, this is not as bad as when he was in Vegas riding his bike, Gordon Ramsay. When he would leave work at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, 116, 118 degrees on street level, and have to pedal for 8 miles or something. He's out there early getting it done. So it's going to be a very, very interesting trip. Yeah, the bike is... Yeah, it's good to see Mr. Z. I wish he hung out more, but he gets home and you got to chill out after being in that heat all day. But I was down there with him last time when we broke the all-time temperature record. 117 degrees. That's what we're going for next week. I'd love to be there when history's being made. He didn't know Mr. Z at that time. I mean, you get to stretches of I-15 where they tell you to turn off your AC anyway for the next 10 miles. You're pulling some long grades out there. 10 mile, like a 3% grade. Doesn't seem like a lot, but you don't get any relief, you don't get any level spots, it's just continuous climbing. Like a breeze came in. Yeah, we just went down about 5 degrees in 15 minutes. But I'll tell you, I've told you before, guys, the really nice thing about Vegas is when that sun goes down and the temperature dips a few degrees, it actually feels like they turn the air conditioning on. And it's one of the most beautiful, beautiful things to be out in the desert at nighttime in summer. When that breeze is just blowing. It's just one of the greatest things that you can imagine. afternoon. What's up? Hey Vladimir, how you doing? No, I don't think I'm exhausted. I'm just, when you're in high heat just continuously for day after day with no real relief or anything. You just enjoy your moments when they come. Right, and right now we're getting a little bit of a breeze here. We might be setting in a little bit of an ocean influence this afternoon. So I'm just kind of enjoying it. We're all just chilling out in chat. We're getting our afternoon attitude adjustment hour. I make everything sound romantic. But if I can wait till September, shit, now I got a pickup truck. I like the desert. I just love the desert at night. Especially if you're out there and you can take a dip in the pool once the sun goes down, and it's just like, I don't know, it's almost like a transcendental experience to be out there. Especially if you go out away from the city a little bit, and like you sit up on the hills there in Henderson and you just look up and the breezes are coming up the hill. I don't know, Catherine, I don't do a very good job of describing it, but it's amazing. Yeah, I'm not the pickup truck kind, but I am the kind for FREE. What's the brand, make, and model? FREE. Suddenly that looks very nice, right? We can put a high shine on it and people be like, oh, wow. That's like Superfly. Sponsorship. Yeah. I've been in the city, although I never saw that many stars. Right? Yeah, the sunrise. Mr. Z sent me a fantastic picture of a just beautiful, man. And it's just like, there's also a certain feeling of accomplishment when you make it through a summer or you make it through a stretch in Las Vegas. It's, you're standing up against the elements. I think the worst thing you can do is acclimate yourself to a lot of air conditioning and all that. That just really makes it miserable. Hey Lurker, I'm doing all right. I'm generally petrified of being outside of cities. But, for those kind of views, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I love Las Vegas all the time. Like I said, I'd like to have somebody come and stay at the Rancho for a year while I go down there on a sabbatical and work. Stay at the Dragon View Motel, the Dragon Motel. Happy Independence Day. It's the day after Janet's birthday. We're going down to the Boston Janet's tomorrow afternoon. That's going to be fun. And then Friday I got to get packed up to hit the road. I like being where it's very noisy and there's a lot of action. A lot of toing and froing. Too quiet, you hear your blood rushing through by the cockles of your ears, right? You want to visit Phoenix during the summer? Well, Vegas has been exceeding Phoenix in temperature. They're both the same. The payoff is in Vegas, though, is you get 9 months of, you don't have to worry about snow, but it can get awful cold in Vegas. Brutal. And the wind chills can be astounding. Yeah, we fell off about 5 degrees. Just a little more cooling here. Yeah, we have a little bit of a breeze here tonight. So there wasn't much going on today. I was asked to talk tonight about Kamala Harris as a potential presidential candidate, and you may be surprised to know that I know her surprisingly well over the years here in California. She was always a figure of note starting in San Francisco, and I think she's a person that's well-intentioned. I think that she's a decent person with a good heart. My issue with her is that she has always an agenda of retribution and payback. Somebody's got to pay for what was done before and all that. I find that tone a little bit disturbing. I find the whole, the equity, inclusion, and all that kind of stuff. I'm not down with all that stuff. That's a basic American thing anyway, right? But right now, the president is meeting with the governors of various states, the Democrat governors, and I think in terms of who will have the most weight in terms of trying to convince who will have the most weight in getting the ear of the president, I believe it will be the governors, the Democrat governors of the United States. They will be the ones that will have the most influence. They will be the ones, what's up, yeah man, how you doing? They will be the ones that have the most influence. And I think, you see Gretchen Whitmer out there doing commercials. She already told President Biden that Michigan's no longer in play for the Democrats. That's under Biden, of course, but if it's somebody else, it's a whole new ballgame, right? They're talking about Michelle Obama, but I don't really know ever what, does, and this is serious, and maybe Amanda Hug and Kiss or somebody else knows. Does Michelle Obama have any kind of professional sort of portfolio or curriculum vitae of note? I don't know. I mean, that would qualify her to be presidential material. I mean, to me, even if you sleep with the president, it does not mean that you know the ins and outs of what it is to govern. Yeah, the temperature feels pretty good on this thing. So I don't know how you guys feel about that. I mean, she might have been, for all I know, she might have had a business career. It would be awesome and crazy at the same time, Whitmer. Well, she, people forget that she was the first one in history that ever experienced people storming a state capitol. It was lost in the sauce of the January 6th Capitol intrusion, but sometime before that, people had descended on the Michigan State House and had actually infiltrated the offices and I don't know if she was there or not, or what the story was. So she's very familiar with that feeling of like, oh shit, man, who knows what could happen now? Right? Could be torn limb from limb. Who knows what the story is? We need a strong person to run it. Well, I'm just saying, I'm just asking anybody here if you had to give me a thumbnail sketch of Michelle Obama. I mean, to me, Gretchen Whitmer would be a more logical candidate just from an executive point of view. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that know better than I, but I would not be surprised on Sunday if it's announced, that the president asks for some airtime and comes on and makes a national announcement that he will be finishing out his term and has chosen not to run to pull his nomination to be his party's representative for president of the United States. Therefore, I have decided midnight tonight to withdraw my nomination to be your party's representative for the 2024 election. I think Whitmer would be a good choice, but I don't think that Biden is. I think you'll have no choice because he's going to worsen over time. No shit. I saw him giving Medal of Freedom awards today. And literally the guy looked like a stone statue, man. It was just, it's like he wasn't even there. There was no kind of, there was no connection to the people. I don't know. I mean, it was a beautiful moment for these people. And I'm glad that our president honored them, but it was just, you really think this guy could do 4 more years of that? You have to remove Trump from the equation, and you just have to ask yourself that, right? Yeah, I think his capability has now been brought into question. I mean, his wife loves him. You should stand by your man, and I get that. I admire that. I admire that kind of loyalty. Yeah, wisdom's a true command. I wish Mr. Z would run. Yeah. What we have is just an endemic case of across all parties just not being able to tell the truth anymore. Everything has to be a subterfuge. Everything has to be a lie. It's like nobody can come out and just call a spade a spade. I would have thought Gavin Newsom would be a logical choice, but his name's not floated as much as I thought it would be. President Trump will never step down from any. Well, he's not the one under question right now. Oh no, you're too smart. You have a high IQ, Mr. Z. Man, this Cadillac is beautiful over here. Wow. What the hell is with Cadillac styling these days? Yeah, but I mean, you might not have an opportunity again. You know what I mean? You never know what the future holds. Sometimes you only get one grab at the brass ring, Amanda. And it might be a totally different country by 2028. You just don't know. I mean, it's like, if you desire to be the president, you really have to take your shot when you get your chance. There's too many variables. You might find yourself running against some kind of Medal of Honor winner and Purple Heart veteran, or find somebody that did something amazing, and you're just not going to have a chance. Yeah, we're dropped 2 more degrees. Yay, 93. I think in some ways, Noreen says, why does he insist on running? I think he, like all of us, he suffers from the same thing Trump suffers from, which is pride. You know, you don't want anybody to think that you're not capable. I mean, people have eyes. I mean, but sometimes the old saying, there are none so blind as those who will not see. So, I mean, it's, your wife is telling you, you're great, you're good, don't listen to these people, they don't know what they're talking about, and your circle around you's telling you how they're slapping skin, yeah, they're high-fiving, that was a great debate, man, you roasted them. And then you go turn on your TV for the post-game show, and you're like, whoa, what the hell were they watching? Man, I was great. You know, in other words, what you're doing is surrounded by people that are paid to tell you you're great. All right. That's not the governors of the nation. That's not the Democrat governors. They will tell you the truth. They will tell you, Mr. President, we really admire what you did the last 4 years, but we think it's time to turn the reins over in 2024 to somebody else, 2025. They'll tell you flat out. They say, you have to decide, Mr. President, what's more important to you, the future of the party or your candidacy? Which is the most important at this point? If you can still say your candidacy, then we will stand by you and go down with the ship. If you tell us that the future of the country and for the Democrat Party, we will work out a plan that you can go with dignity and applause and move on to that great pantheon of former presidents of the United States. So I think the governors, they're probably the ones that requested to have the meeting. They probably flew in, and I'm sure Newsom's there, and the governors of Maryland and Massachusetts and Illinois and the usual suspects are there, telling them this is the way we see it. And you notice all that former President Trump has to do is just keep his mouth shut right now. And amazingly, he's doing a good job of that, which is startling in itself. And crocheting that down, aching muscles, you don't use in your arms. Jimmy, what's going on? Happy birthday, dude. Hope you had a good one. He might be gruesome, but the ladies love him. He's like a modern day Warren G. Harding. Hope you had a good one, Jimmy. We ought to get a gang of us, Jimmy, to go down to Argentina and rent a place for a month down there. In Buenos Aires. Get you a cab TV if you have an IP2 house. Wouldn't that be amazing if we just, we're able to rent? I mean, it's cheap, man. They can rent a place for $400 a night, right in a month, right in the heart of Buenos Aires, right? Yeah, if we get enough people that are serious about it, you just take a place for a month and just use it as a base of operations. Then IP2's doing something again, right? I'm sure the locals would love that. What do you think? It would be like an alcohol-driven raves every night? Yeah, I know you're in New Mexico. You think it would be alcohol-driven raves every night? Shit. I'll never forget the night. 6 months ago, somebody had some beer delivered into the Rancho or something. And I'll never forget Cheryl has said, "Oh, wow. Somebody just delivered beer into the Rancho. That's the last thing that place needs is more alcohol." What has Newsom done for California? Well, what is, it's not a question of what he's done. It's a question of perception, right? There's very few governors we can point to and say, what has this governor actually done? We can point to DeSantis and say, well, he's, if you're on the right, you say he's taken a principled stand for what we might call traditional values in the nation, which appeals to some people. As far as what Newsom has done, I don't think anybody can ever point to a governor of California and say this guy did X, Y, Z, or whatever. Hell, this guy just, it's all right, dude. It's like 105. Just park where you want, man. There you go. So I don't think, Lurker, that people assess the candidates like that, right? Well, what would we expecting him to do in California? Obviously, the gas tax is sky high. I pay $5 for a gallon of gasoline. Rental expenses, home prices and rental costs are through the roof here. Food inflation in California is the worst in the nation. We piss a lot of money away on boondoggle transportation projects. I can just think of a million negative things. We just keep increasing our taxes. But as far as what he's done of a positive vein, I can't really think of anything. We have a huge budget deficit now. Do we want the other kind of thing? Well, it's like you're gonna get that one way or another, Naomi. That budget deficit is not going to close itself. If anything, it widens over time. You know why? Because of the magic effects of compounding interest rate. Right? When debt compounds on debt, then it becomes untenable. It's almost what we call a parabolic function, given by the equation y equals mx plus b. Right? You can fill in your variables for rate and all that. You can figure out easily what it's going to be 5 years from now. Right? The question is the economy going to grow in lockstep with that? Well, I see a lot of people closing up shop now, especially here in California. I see first-time claims for unemployment starting to edge up now and steadily moving upward. So there's some stuff that's going on out here, right? If those two widen away from each other, in other words, if things slow down and tax revenue declines at the same time that interest is accelerating, close the beaches, he closed down outdoor, destroyed countless businesses and lives. Yeah, I would say California was in the forefront of shutting down. And then our county medical officer ends up being cited for drunk driving, and oh my God, this Maisie Daisy woman, Dr. Maisie Sundacker, is just what a nightmare, man. Where did they get these people from? But, you know, Jimmy, people look past that. They will, you know, it doesn't matter really anymore. It doesn't matter anymore what, you know, people just, they don't care. They only vote the ticket and then they end up slitting their own throat. They don't care. All they see is just blue or red. Yeah, it's just impossible now, right? Rosie or 20 bar me these days. That's horrible. Well, you're smart too, and you're also very kind, Cindy. Yeah, rents are untenable, but that means they won't stay high. Because now we're coming to a point where the cost of borrowing money to just feed into, you know, creating money out of thin air is beginning to make that untenable, and then you'll drive it up to 3,000 a month. Put 20 in every the people forget and vote the same. They do. Most people vote along party lines. They never stop and think, what has this guy actually done? It's all party politics, as much on red as it is on blue. But the reality is that the governors don't really do a hell of a lot. Okay, they shape the party on the local level for the future. That's their main function now. If they get in, they oversee gerrymandering of political districts, in which the Supreme Court says it's okay. I think the following, don't forget one natural disaster. Yeah, one natural disaster after another, and that's not going to change anytime soon. Right, Robert? Because let's face it, man, we have pop-up. It's just barely turned July, dude. We've already had the Point fire. We had the Toll fire. Now we have some other fire burning up near Clear Lake or something. You know, the economy, they get nothing done. Yeah, because what do we want them to do? If you tell them, we want you to fix our financial situation in America to make it good for our children. They say, okay, well, we got two choices. The tune of indebtedness for every single American is something on the order of about $920,000 per person. That's how much debt we are each, that's how much money each of us owes as a citizen. So we can either start putting a mandatory 50% piggyback tax on whatever you're paying in your current income tax, right? And we'll direct that all go towards buying in and reducing government debt. Now, what do you all think about that? And you can imagine one person would fall out of their chair one way, the other would. Are you kidding me? Bro, we need to get elected, man. You're killing us, right? You tell us that we raise taxes. Okay, all right, okay, we heard. Don't, calm down. We have another option. Shit, good, man. You scared the hell out of me. You practically gave Judy a heart attack over. Are you all right, honey? Shit, you ought to be ashamed of yourself coming in here and telling people, how you doing, Joni, that you're going to raise taxes, 50% piggyback tax? Yeah, but it would just be a special tax. Dude, get the hell out of the hole. No, wait. Okay, yeah, you did say you had an alternative. All right. Now we're cooking with gas. Go ahead. Tell us what the alternative. The alternative is that we immediately cut government spending reduce it by 25% across the board. Are you shitting me? Do you know how many jobs are going to be lost? Do you know how we're not going to be able to perform the functions of this great United States of America? You know what? Pack your shit, get out of the hall, and don't ever come back here again. Said, well, you can't pull a rabbit out of your hiney, so it's either one or the other. So you can see why nothing ever gets done. What do you want them to do is what you really don't want them to do. Right? It all depends on whose ox is being gored. What do I think about the president of Argentina? Well, Milei basically inflation has halted, but that might be more a function of the economy is just accidentally just heaved its last and just crapped itself. I can voice my opinion. I have 4 grandsons all over 21. You're always welcome to voice your opinion here. You're always welcome to voice your opinion, but you have to understand that we've painted ourselves into somewhat of a corner here where there is no easy palatable answer anymore, right? You know, you go and tell the Department of Defense we have to reduce 25% budget cut for the Department of Defense. They go ballistic. You go to Health and Human Services, we need a 25% cut to all, you know, Section 8 vouchers, food stamps, aid to family with dependent children, earned income credits. It's all got to be reduced. I can hear AOC now. So I'm saying we say we want something, but then when faced with the alternatives, it's it's going to take heroic sacrifice. And I don't think any of this these days are conditioned to do that level of heroic sacrifice. So we just keep kicking it down the road. No, you don't. You're not going to see any improvement in the next 4 years. It's impossible. It's impossible that things. It's almost like if you've ever played slot car racing with the little race cars, you put them in the slots. I mean, it's in the groove, right? It's going to go where it's going to go. There's no getting around it. There's no bypassing it. When you have the Federal Reserve Chairman coming out and just keep banging the drum because he wants to be the guy that says, I told you so for the last couple of years. You've got to get this federal debt situation under control. Nobody listened to me. So he's making sure he comes out of that whistle clean. Right? So the big problem is we went down this Keynesian economic road in the 1930s, which is good in theory, but it was only a theory that was half applied. Lord Maynard Keynes says in times of economic difficulty, you have to stimulate the economy by spending more in revenue than you actually take in. We've been excellent at that. The problem is, when times get fat, you're supposed to take back and claw back that pump priming and pull it back. We're never really bad at doing that. So taxes never go up to recover during good times too, because it's poison to the democratic process, right? You tell somebody we want to raise taxes, and well, your chances of being elected just got chopped in half, right? That is the checks and balances. The check and balance today is political expediency, right? Whatever gets me elected. So if and that's the reality of it. Keynesian economics is great, but it has to be carried out through the full cycle, which it never has been, because in a democracy you can't get elected if you talk about raising taxes. In other words, if Biden came out tomorrow and said, I'm staying in the race and I'm laying out my new economic plan next week, and it comes out that we're going to put a 15% across the board tax increase on. I mean, honestly, what do you think happens to the Biden campaign at that point? I mean, I hear Mozart's Requiem Mass music playing in the background as they bury that baby. Right. No chance, no how, what they call it, dead on arrival. It's frightening, the deficits we run these days. Just the treasury, the monstrous amounts of money they have to borrow every month are in the 200 billion level. Well, rent control will cease the building of any new. You'll have a dead market. Nobody will want to risk their capital to build anything in a rent control environment. The best cure for high prices is high prices. So we will have a surplus of housing within the next few years that is going to be unprecedented in this country. What's going to shake that down, Cindy, is job loss. Exactly. Nobody wants to work together to give up anything. You can't. Right? Lee Hale. I'm gonna wash that politics right out of myself after I put a new wax toilet ring down, and you're gonna see all kinds of housing availability. Our population in this nation has not grown anywhere near the amount that housing. It's just a question of where is that housing been built. Here in Santa Rosa, they have chosen to, nobody builds single family homes anymore. Why? Because they found that there's more money at this point in time to be made in putting up apartment houses, because they have the idea that they can raise rents 10 or 15% a year. But you know what? When real estate all begins to think the same way, it never turns out the way that they expect it's going to turn out. All right? And I think what's going to happen is a lot of this stuff is just going to turn into, low income Section 8 housing and stuff, where the rents are going to come down to the level that matches the earnings that people have. Because let's face it, they can't charge the rents unless somebody's paying it out there. Is this lady going to yell at me, or what are we doing? Are we wandering around? What are we doing? I don't know. I thought you coming over to yell at me. I don't know. And they are super busy office for lots of other guys there. Yeah. Doing Noah. So the best thing that you can do is let these prices just rage, because everybody and his mother will be trying to bring a housing online to take advantage of the high prices. All right. Wage and price controls are a disaster for an economy. They just cease. They just immediately stop all capital investment. You want these people to overcommit and build like crazy and then be caught with their pants down. And that's coming. We can see the weekly jobless claims easing up, gradually moving up from 205,000 a week to 238,000 now. We're moving up, continuing claims at the highest level since 2021. That's your cure for high prices right there. There's no way in a naturally ordered existence that people should be paying more than one quarter to one third of their income for a place to stay. That's unsustainable. And we've seen it in slowing in retail sales. So I'd love to see these big fat these gigantic hunkin' LA size apartment complexes going up here, and they're like a 10% occupancy, and I know it's coming, right? 2 months free rent, sign the lease, your first 6 months free. I know it's coming. You have to take you have to take the average income of the average American after taxes, and you have to equate that to the average cost of housing per person per month. That's mortgages, average with rentals, and you have to see what percentage of that earnings it is. If that's more than, say, 30%, you're redlining. It's unsustainable, right? It's untenable. That Ford Taurus is a nice looking car. Well, remember, Noah, we used to live in, 1,000 square feet. You'll have a family, I don't want to say a husband and wife because that's kind of a rarity these days, but you'll have a unit together, and it might be a man and a woman and a child, and they're making good money as a dual income couple, but everything is going into that house, right? And then you go outside and you see a couple fancy vehicles and nice clothing, and before you know it, you've chewed through $200,000 of pre-tax income, right? We're not very good at efficiently housing, people. But now we're taking care of that. You don't see individual homes that are on a 5,000 square foot lot anymore. Those days are pretty much gone. You see, if you have a 2,500 or 2,000 square foot home, you'll see like a 2,400 square foot lot, tiny. Or else you don't even have land anymore. You just share the land in common with everybody else that has the home there. Right, so you're almost like a English land grant trust. Yeah, people have been living well above their means. And social media has been a major contributor to that. And anybody that thinks it's not is not seeing reality. Social media exposes the whole world to everything from cruises to cars to high living lifestyles and influencers and no, I haven't tried them. I'd be afraid to use a rubber for a toilet seal. So yeah, we can complain about stuff about rents and car prices, but the only reason that it can ask these prices is people pay it. Zero lot line. Yeah, it's all around me. I was, right across from the Towers of Doom. Right across from the Towers of Doom, you have those townhouses over there that have no lot lines, and they started at $550,000, right? And you just have a parade of just shopping carts coming by and people shooting up across the street at the Towers of Doom and stuff, and you think to yourself, I'm hooked into this for the next 30 years. Everything is dependent on the level of employment of the nation. When unemployment starts to go up, then the problems begin. They might think, I don't want to ever sell my house, I'm not going anywhere. But what happens if you're forced to sell? Then that starts to be like a domino effect on the market. And other people, oh shit, I better get it on the market before everybody else does. And you can almost reach out your window and tell, that's what I'm saying, lurker. It's very abnormal. And that was a consequence of super cheap money for a 40-year steady decline in interest rates brought this into being. Cheap money. Cheap money. Now money's not so cheap. It's starting to get a little more dear now. So there's a little bit of friction in the system. People aren't stepping up to those $2,500 rents as much as they were, and they're not grabbing those luxury vehicles to the extent that they used to. You know, they're going home and telling their husband, you know, honey, maybe we better just pull back a little bit, save a little bit of money. Right? It only takes a little bit of that germ of thinking to spread. I don't know what was reported today. The index of services index is like at a 4-year low or something like that. So I say to people like Cindy, who I love to pieces, and I care about and think about all the time, I think to myself, you know what, honey? As hard as you work, you went through some rough years where you had to pay out the wazoo for stuff, but you know what? Your ship's going to come in. Your ship will come in. Hard workers always get their rewards. I can almost touch it. Oh, I can almost touch it. Oh. I told Blackbird, I'm like, phew. When Blackbird first moved here almost 3 years ago, they were building houses. He was working on 2 home sites. Gone, done. Not economical enough, not enough money to be sucked out of the people. Now you got to put these 10-story monstrosities up, 200 units in a building. And then if you decide to condo them, people have to join an association, and they always mismanage the money and don't properly reserve for repairs. So all of a sudden you have these $400,000 special assessments that come along. And guess what? You're bounced out of your place. Never buy any shared property. All right? Never. Ever. Ever. You want sole title. It's bad enough you'll be paying real estate taxes, but then when you put that, yeah, that's true, Cindy. I mean, most people will never, accumulate the money needed for a down payment for a home in this market, right? Just do the thing, but also boycott the crops. I'm a land. It's just ridiculous. That's part of what makes it go up, and that's also a part of the climatological situation we're going under. That we're enduring right now. I mean, who knows? Every time a hurricane forms off the coast of Africa, you have to wonder if this one's going to be steered into Miami or Tampa or New Orleans or Houston. I mean, that's right. You take out a couple more 10,000 houses or something, and it's just like people just withdraw from the insurance business. It's not worth it. And then what does that leave? It leaves government. If people haven't seen it, it's basically untenable with rising sea levels and storms. It may not be the place that you want to be. No one ever stole or did insurance. And of course, now, well, that goes down to the whole ethics in school deal, but you can't have the Ten Commandments posted in a Louisiana schoolroom, but you can have a gender critical theory, and people come in to promote that lifestyle, and that's okay. But that's not my business. But you get what you get. It's like I put that community post in Bloomberg that New York transportation system, something like 900,000 people a month are jumping the turnstiles, and they're not paying their fare, and they're scratching their head, and now they want to hire behavioral specialists. Lord help me. Lord help me. You know, it's the equivalent of closing the barn door after the horses have already escaped, right? You're going to come out and put posters up and tell people, pay your fair share, right? And then they're going to look at you and say, or what? You're going to keep me out? Is the subway line going to shut down? Yeah, you go ahead, give it a shot. Of course, Cindy, that's another issue too, but that's future voters. There's a higher agenda to be served in that, and what really bothers me, I'll be honest, is that masquerades under humanity. Right, that we actually care about these people. That, I think, is the most offensive thing in all of that. I mean, it's just that how you can look at something like that and say just open that border and just have people streaming in is just beyond belief that any civilized nation in the world would allow that to happen. I don't see it happen in France. I don't see it. It sure as hell doesn't happen in China. I can think of no other place in the world that you're expected to have your borders thrown over to accommodate people that don't want to do things in the course of usual immigration. Unbelievable. You know, I'm as humanitarian as the next person, but good Lord, you just throw your borders open. That's basically telling these dictators, you keep going on and doing what you're doing down there, business as usual, no problem. You keep being corrupt, you keep abusing your people, yeah, just head on out, y'all, bye. Instead of staying there and putting some skin in the game and, you know, having the courage to stand up and change the system. That's just real talk. That's just real talk. That's a really honest assessment. So if it was me and I was President Biden, I would say, sayonara, baby. It's been real. Now I'm going to sip a tall drink with an umbrella in it and sit on the beach in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, and just chill out and enjoy life. It's just amazing. In just 60 years, what the hell happened to this nation? It's mind-blowing. Let's see, yay, we're 91 degrees, yay. We're moving down. I feel sorry for the people that live in battleground states that have to hear commercials every 3 seconds. Yep, Cindy, it will. There's no way that I can, there's no way I can put lipstick on that, honey. We've seen the Achilles heel of democracy, and that is the need to get elected trumps all. This is why, in the end, democracies always have the seeds of their own undoing. Why? Because human nature never changes. It's 104. It's nice here now. It's 91. It's come down a few degrees. But none of us ever really knows what happened, what's good the future holds. So that's why my moderators always put the disclaimer on that these are always my opinions at the end of the day, for whatever they're worth. And some people, well, you're full of shit, you know, and I get it. You know, ranges from spot on, perfect logic to, you know, no way, stupid. I get it. But see, we have a nation that's not conditioned to hear the truth anymore. It's conditioned to hear what it wants to hear, and our politicians feed right into that. So ask me if I expect our democracy to survive into another generation. I'd have to say no. And January 6th was a foretaste of that. That was a little bit of sampling of the barrel right there. And I hate to say that, I got skin in the game too. But I can look at things honestly and objectively and face reality. Well, it's not what I want, but it's, you know, this, you know, if I told you that this is, in terms of what's coming down the pike, this is really like a Sunday school picnic, but that would just be my opinion. It doesn't mean anything to, you know, it doesn't carry any weight. I'm a nobody. We're stuck here, yeah. Right. But I always will honestly express an opinion. I guess that's it, Alan. It's beyond who's ever in office. The problem is now transcended party. We are in this together, but in pretty short order, you'll see how not in this together we are. Well, thank you, Nippy. I mean, I can only be honest. You know, I keep looking for that little glimmer of, well, what's gonna, what's gonna enlighten people, or what's gonna make people see the light, or what's gonna make people cooperate, what's gonna bring Democrats and Republicans together. Right. Then I say, well, what divided us in the first place? And I come to the one conclusion that I've always come to. It's human nature coupled with social media. Most every day. Oh, there's Mr. Z. All right. Good to see the Z-Man. Are you in the comfort and privacy of your own home there? I love it when Mr. Z can finally get home and chill out. It's exactly right. It's now transcended party. I mean, if you think the people in this nation, as conditioned as we are to government stepping in on everything and being involved in every aspect of life, is going to be able to cushion you from the harsh realities of, well, you're going to have another thing coming. That's good. I'm glad. Yeah, I can't wait till we throw some big meat on the grill again. It's beautiful at nighttime in Vegas when the sun goes down. Somebody like Cindy, though, she'll be a survivor. You best believe it. She'll be a survivor. She ain't no dummy. The macrocosm is mirrored in the microcosm. Big meat. Always good. That's when Las Vegas really pays. Really pays. A cup of cold beer here, cold beer. Trixie, there's nothing like seeing big meat. I remember Mr. Z's shotgun, his 10-round shotgun, man, that was pretty wild. I think just obliterated the target. You know what? But there people be survivors. You just have to understand that AI is creeping in, and it's scary shit. They even took Morgan Freeman's voice and did a whole AI thing with him, and you listen to some of the commercials on the YouTube shorts now, you hear Oprah Winfrey talking about solar. It ain't Oprah Winfrey, right? In other words, reality is going to be, it's going to hit the limits of subjectivity. You're not going to know your ass from a hole in the ground. Everything you hear will be suspect. And that's no place for any society to find itself in. Countries like China decided long ago that that stuff was death, to have the unrestricted freedom of the internet. No, you're not, honey. You punch way above your weight. You find fellow travelers, you find people that understand what's going on. And therein you find your strategy. How you doing, Shimei? It's another one of the Rosieisms, right? Right, Ronnie? Unlimited freedom is the enemy of human civilization. Yeah, we'll find out. It's not going to be long in coming. I telescoped it a bit in 2022 because of the pandemic. Right. But the thing is still it's still the same issues. If anything, they've grown more in size, dead, and other things. What hate comments? I don't know. Here? He wants to be a Hitler. Would you do that to us? I'm not sure what she's talking about in terms of Hitler. What percentage do people realize they've been manipulated? Well, I don't know about that, Ronnie, but I know one thing. You start to remove objective truth from society and you're just Fukked. Okay, I hear Oprah Winfrey voicing over a solar panel commercial. I'm like, that ain't Oprah Winfrey. Or I hear Judge Judy talking about how to keep your member hard for 2 hours or what. No wonder these celebrities are going nuts. It's not a comment, Rosie. It's people's opinion. You accept. I always accept. Yes, because as anybody will tell you, I'm always the first one to admit that I'm wrong or I made a mistake, right? But that's the risk you take when you're standing on the very bow of the Titanic, when you're on the very point where Jack and his young lover are standing there with the wind in their hair, right? There's always the potential, you're going into an ice field, you're going into an area where icebergs have been reported, and you're kind of on lookout, and you see something that you think is an iceberg coming, and it turns out that it wasn't. Now, does that mean that the icebergs are not there? Well, that would be a very foolish assumption to make, wouldn't it? Yeah, it's caring. We care. We all have kids, right? Grandkids, kids, we all got skin in the game, right? We all care. We're not like the average person running around saying, what has posterity ever done for me? Right? We care. We all do, Lurker. But we have to understand that we're in the midst of, a society where not everybody thinks, it's especially hard for the young to think about that. It's not top of mind. Yeah, we got ourselves a deep hole. The best thing you can do as an individual is to be smart and to be intelligent. We're all in agreement on that. Yeah, Judge Judy. But to hear her doing a voiceover for some kind of pseudo Viagra was really cracking me up. Yeah, I got one on now. I don't even hold it up, but I've got the power pack here, Shimei. We're down to 60% power. Is Cindy leaving? If you're leaving, good night, Cindy. So obviously I'm going to need to take, once the sun goes down, I'm hoping I'm not going to need to continue with the cooler. I have the cooler on now. It's allowed my phone to take a charge. Right. It's a little awkward. I don't know how it's going to be on vertical streams and stuff, but we're using probably at the rate of 20% per hour here of power, running everything. So we're going to have to take multiple blocks with us. Hey, CO, how you doing? Man, it's almost like air conditioning. 89 degrees. Can you believe it, Seal? It's like, sweet relief. That's what's so amazing about being in a desert. If you get through the 112, 116, 118 degree part of the day, and if you can make it down to the 100 degrees and stuff, it's almost like they put the air conditioning on. We got Mr. Z and he's in the cool comfort of his home, enjoying some grub. Glad to get off that crane. Now tomorrow afternoon I will be taking off for the Boston Janice with Bobby. We will not be live tomorrow. I will probably do a morning video or something. We'll figure something out. And then I'll have some video to go up. I'm going to have a couple features I'm going to shoot on Friday for when I'm in LA. Although I will try to go live on Imperial Boulevard down there. Yeah, the July sun is brutal. He says January never happened. Well, anyway. Anyway, that'll be fun to have some 4th of July fun down there. And I don't think it's going to be quite as hot. Good night, Rosie. Nobody takes it. We have open, Lizbeth, we don't censor people here when they speak civilly, no matter what they're talking about, okay? We don't censor anybody. Let everybody have their say, as long as they're not, ragging on other people. I don't care what people say about me, but I don't want people ever beating up on other people in the chat. So we always have a very civil chat here. Always have a civil chat. I think a lot of people will be glad when this election is over. Nobody took it. We're okay, honey. We're all good. We had our cooler do the job today. For the first 2 hours, it was a little awkward getting it hooked on, but it worked out. Well, I never thought 89 degrees feels so good. Whew. Oh yeah, Elizabeth, and no problem at all, honey. Right. Everybody's opinions are always welcome here, and we have just as many people on the left as we do on the right, and I'm very proud of that. Therefore, we can have an intelligent conversation and see things as it really is. We give a little bit, we take a little bit. I have to give credit to people in this chat that actually looked at that debate and came to the conclusion, yes, you're correct. He probably should stand it. And these are people on the, on the Democrat side that said, yes, probably for the good of the party, he should consider stepping down from running. That takes a tremendous amount of objective insight to say something like that. Right? Just like I'll come out and say anybody that thinks Trump wasn't, had a mind of possibly having an insurrection on January 6th, I think you're deluding yourself. Okay? So I admire people that can look at things factually and say, yes, the game board has changed a little bit. I think that takes a tremendous amount of gumption. It takes a tremendous amount of courage to recognize, and they're the people that can put this country first, right? Yeah, we got no choice. We have to carry on. Absolutely. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I'm happy that we have a lot of people that support Trump in here. We have a lot of people that support Biden. And you know what? This will have a finite conclusion to it, and then it will be over. But you can't stick your head in the sand and say that it doesn't influence day-to-day thoughts here. This is like a gigantic show being played out in front of us here. Hey, Stan, in other words, it's unusual. It's not in the scope of what we're used to seeing. Yeah, the flu's actually really bad here. I don't know if the president had or not, but I know the pastor of our church is still pretty much down and out, and probably at 65% function right now. I'm dropping prisoners off, man. Seal, when I walk into a 7-Eleven in the hood, let me tell you, brother, the brothers kind of ease back a little bit, right? I think this is Sonoma County Sheriff. They see that. It's law and order. Yeah, you guys are great. You still communicate, still come and hang out. Ain't nobody's vote going to change in that regard. I think I've been very, very objective with, commentary on the post-debate thing. I think it's just common sense. I can't get married into something, this is what it was, and this is, I can't start making excuses. I just have to say, look, man, let's face reality here. Let's move along. You got a nice retirement place on Rehoboth Beach? Yeah, we never argue in here. We just make our points. That's why I'm proud. This has always been a common ground of bringing people together here. You know what I got a taste for tonight? I got a taste for some chicken. But I don't, some good old fried chicken, but I don't think that's going to happen tonight. I think we're probably going to maybe bag an In-N-Out burger tonight, maybe something like that. I think I used up my card, but my girls gave me a couple new cards. I don't know what the level is. I don't know. Yeah, we just be aware of it. Just understand the logic. That's what I try to convey, Mr. Z. I try to say, look, here's the situation. This is where we stand. These are the trends that are in place. If you don't think those trends are going to continue, what force do you think is going to modify those trends? In other words, it's analysis that leads someplace, but leads there logically. Right? The only issue is the timeline. Right? Is the timeline. There's another nice looking Cadillac. Why am I seeing Cadillacs popping out all over the place now? Yeah, I do too, Sandlapper. We just need younger people to get in there that have energy and have more creativity than I have. Rectums, we all have one. That's it. That's what I want. I want some young people to step up and come up with some fresh ideas. Right. I'm going to the Boston Janets tomorrow. I'm getting pick up at 1:30. So I should get some good video out of that. Hey Duncan. So the cooler is run well. We have to always watch the disconnection issue. When it comes to the phone, the cooler itself is run well. We'll show you what it looks like on the back. I hope this doesn't disconnect the chat. I think you'll be able to see that. Let me flip that around. You see the way that thing is on the back of that? I think the blue, yeah, as long as the blue light is on, she's running. Thing's got a tiny little fan that's in there, and that's managed. It uses a lot of juice, but it's electronic cooling. And I purposely bought my Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus with the very rare white, because white doesn't absorb the heat. I purposely bought it with the streaming in line. So this is the whole setup you need. Right, with the dual battery, with the battery pack running here. So, you know, it's awkward because the buttons are all exposed. If this falls over, it'll crack a screen, and that's something that I've really avoided. So anytime I'm running without a case is extremely dangerous. Because I'm very given to butterfingers and things fall over and all that. Trying to see if I can just clip this on. To put that in position so that that doesn't disconnect itself, and it's without pushing any buttons or anything. But with the buttons exposed, it's very easy to knock yourself off the air. So that shows you. Now Shimei sent me that cooler. So like I said, I still haven't ultimately made out my mind about Vegas, but that's that's the kind of setup I'm going to have to run, and this could look very threatening to people on the streets. I don't know. Now that's going to excite a man to hug and kiss. Yes, the more weird, you know, you're already weird, but if you could be more weird out there, so much the better. In for a dime, in for a dollar. You know, you're carrying around the whole thing on a stick. You're going to irritate everybody that sees you. It's going to be amazing. Ooh. This charger was like $19. I got it because it's blue. Everything that's black, I just tend to lose it. This is a 33,800 milliamp hour. Comes from Shenzhen, just over the border from Hong Kong. So I'm kind of lucky. Like today, I told you we were going to do our initial testing. Hey, Trog, what's going on? Cold beer here, cold beer. Yeah, don't lose. I'm going to take backup sunglasses because these are street worthy, because this is all jacked up. This is all jacked up. I wanted to get some JB Weld, but I haven't gotten to it yet. Do a little victory fix. Have 3 cold beers. Cold beer here, cold beer. Get your cold beer. Last call, cold beer. After shooting pool 6 a.m. just got done and I lost a little bit of coverage. Shooting pool since 6 a.m. Trog, or 6 p.m. Oh, it feels good now. 88. It's amazing how much difference 88 is from 108. How are you doing today, June? I'm glad to hear you had a couple beers today. That's good. Who in the hell shoots pool at 6 a.m., dude? Are you toasting a few beers out there at 6 a.m.? Like something out of the Hustler? Cold beer here, cold beer. Get your cold beer. Last call, cold beer. Man, that guy was a hustler. Man, he was just blowing the beer out. Hey, Magda. How are you, honey? Got Mr. Z here tonight. I was with the hustler of all times, Alex Cord. I don't know. Not enough pool halls anymore. Although down in Petaluma they have those 15 tables or whatever. That's a pretty cool setup. I've decided when I get back that we're going to ramp up. We're going to go slow and dip our toes in Berkeley, okay? Let me tell you what, walking the streets of Berkeley is enough for starters. You talk about a lot of angry beavers on the streets in Berkeley. Especially you get down Telegraph Avenue to just the edge of Albany and past the Berkeley Bowl food store and all that shit. It gets a little wild. We'll see if we work our way up to Oakland. Oh, Magda will be there for the Berkeley stream. We'll show you the theater where somebody was shot at the People's Park protests. then maybe we'll find a place to get something to eat. And I can't even gauge. You know, the last time we was in Oakland was during the George Floyd. So I can't even gauge how the streets have gone down since then. You know, it could be a one and you're just dead. You know, you may not survive it. It's nice to see Mr. Z tonight. I always tell him he's like a real celebrity in here. Me? It is dangerous, Seal. It was already dangerous the first time I did it. But, you know, dangerous cities make great YouTube, right? I mean, you can grab your popcorn and just around the next corner. Yeah, I did. Mr. Z and I, we actually enjoyed it. We did a review at the Heart Attack Grill. The burger was surprisingly good. Slept for night. It was surprisingly good. Okay, that's cool. 56%, so we've done pretty damn good on in terms of the cooler. But we definitely have to have a 2 battery pack. I'm going to have to take 3 battery packs with me just to make sure I got covered. So it's going to be a very heavy bag. I don't know, maybe I should take a backpack. Damn, a backpack's you're gonna trap a lot of heat in yourself. But I do have a backpack. Damn, I wish I got this. I got a backpack, but I'll have to check stuff out. Yeah, backpack is just brutal. It's gonna trap a lot of core heat from escaping. You know, I worry about that. Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, what about the old cactus ones too? Right, that's going to be good. That's great. What great news. So Mr. Z, with that AC, if I can just make it from LA to Vegas, I'll be a happy camper. Once I'm there, you know, I'll survive the streets okay. But lots of good time with bowling, shooting, cookouts. There's nothing like hanging with the Z-Man. You learn a lot from this guy too. Yeah, I wonder where they got to be in your trunk somewhere, aren't they? They were really cool. So Mr. Z, I might have a line on a truck in September, like Bobby's. I think it's a Nissan, I think it's the V6. Hey Lee. Yeah, I think it topped out about 107. I don't know what the high was in Vegas today. I lost 10 grand in it. Yeah, I'll bet. I wish I could get more of this cooler onto the phone, but there's only so much space to be had on the surface. That's the problem. So the thing hangs over the end. I always hope it's enough. Must have been enough cooling power. You know, it kept the screen pretty just warm to the touch, but not hot. And they'll tell you when I first went live today, it was hot. Off-road blast the guns in the desert. Yeah, that's cool. That'll be a welcome addition to have that. And then I'll move on Cupcake, or I'll do something cool with Cupcake. Move Cupcake along. Or just really clean it up really nice and just enjoy it more. Yeah, 113. No lag seems to work. What does that mean, no lag? Yeah, I'm always monitoring the screen here, Ronnie, to make sure that it's still charging. Yeah, blast Cupcake. I'm going to be content to shoot the Glock some more down there. That'll be fine by me. Ukiah was about, yeah, that'll be it. Weather's always been a bailout for a conversation. Well, it is here because I'm going to be rolling into Las Vegas Tuesday, and that day, two things could happen. Furnace Creek, California, where Death Valley is, could set a new all-time global temperature record of 132 degrees or whatever. And Las Vegas could establish a new record above 117. Now, I was there with Mr. Z in 2021 when the last record was set down there. I was back after the reopening of Las Vegas and all that when that came down. So I'm usually a part of significant history, which is kind of cool. So please take a second to hit the thumbs up button if you don't mind. We're way behind today. Way behind, but it's very appreciated. Before the third inning. What inning? What game? Ice block is in on. I'll be all right. Long as I make it to the Atomic Lounge, I'm good. Boy, it feels good now. 86 degrees. Oof. Got a breeze blowing. Oh, any game in general. Best thing about Mr. Z is he's always got a really upbeat and positive attitude. Doesn't matter if he has to drive or whatever. You know, you always feel like somebody's happy to see you. Who knows? I might find a shop down there and maybe see if they want to do the have a crack at the AC. Get your drunk on in Vegas. Well, Luce, I'll only do 2. There are 2 16-ounces with my name on it at the end of the night. Otherwise, the other evenings, you don't really see me drinking. No, dude, Mr. Z doesn't like getting charged for condiments. I don't know how we survived the pandemic. I still marvel, Mr. Z, that we were able to even get something to eat. Yeah, the dogs definitely get scared by the fireworks. We had a hell of a time trying to get something to eat in Las Vegas. A hell of a time. The food, the cooks were terrible. Tables were all distanced. Everything had white, heavy paper over it with little individual portions of salt and pepper, and it was terrible. I mean, literally, there just wasn't a lot of places that were open to get something to eat. I think we had some of our worst meals ever. Yeah, I can't even. It's disgusting to pay more than $3.99 for a drink. I like Jerry's Nugget, and I like the Magnolia. That's always a good place to start. All right, let's pull. I don't think we need this. Ooh, but that baby's still cold behind. I might be cheating on power. Let's let this thing sit down there. This cools electronically, if you can believe it. Pandemic was it was pretty cool. I'm glad I recorded all that video in Vegas. This might need a dedicated power pack for it. That blue light. Little fans are whirling in there. What happens if we pull that a bit? And let's see if we just unplug the other one for a minute. Let's see if this is going to cool off faster here. Yeah, it's a heck of a unit. I mean, it's the difference between keeping a stream going, seal, or having a Samsung say, hey man, bye. I've had that happen a few times. Just shut the stream down. Nobody knows whether you just got shot to death or what. People are texting you, where are you, what's going on. Let's see how this works on a dedicated. You hear that little fan whirling? Yeah, you got to have your new unit up and ready to go. I have to figure out which side. There might be more cooling on one side than the other. But it's amazing that you can cool electronically, isn't it? No compressor. And sometimes this thing gets so cold you can hardly keep your fingers on it. Put that right down your pants. Yeah, that's definitely cool. And because it's cool, it draws the heat out from the unit. Cooling case. Yeah, it's gonna be brutal, June. Ace, what's going on? It's just not as cold out of the battery pack. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely cool. Let's turn it on and let's plug it in here. Yeah, I can't think of a worse street in the city in the United States to go into without air conditioning and in record-breaking temperatures. We're plugged in here to the van. No. Might take a while to come up to temperature. I just have to make sure that the phone is able to take a charge. That's the big issue. Definitely getting colder. I didn't say that, Shemay. Very interesting, this technology. Let's let that baby keep running for a while. Right. I hate to have the phone without a case on it. That's the worst part of the whole thing. I don't know what. I've never had an animal before. I just always get a hamburger and fried. That's it. That's all I ever get. Yeah, it might burn up. Although it's plenty cold right now. Anything that gives any sort of differential in temperature is going to be helpful for drawing heat off of the phone. In other words, it doesn't have to be a super high gradient. It only has to be enough to continuously draw heat out. So it never really has to be like a total refrigerator. Oh, you know what we're going to try tonight? Maybe we'll try Five Guys. They've been such a disappointment, though. Yeah, you can only take it so much down from the ambient temperature, maybe 10 degrees. But trust and believe, that's enough to pull heat out of the phone. As long as you have that temperature slope, the phone will continuously cool down. Ever had, Lee. We never had AC. 84 degrees. What a dream, man. What a dream. In other words, it doesn't have to be super cold. It only has to be colder than the phone, continuously to draw the heat off. As long as it maintains that differential in temperature, it'll always pull heat off of the phone, according to the principles of thermodynamics. Which is what we're all about here, is the science of shit, right? cold beer here, cold beer. All right, what are we doing? Oh, we got foot traffic. Oh, look at that beautiful vet. Oof. Wow. There's just no car in the world that looks like that. Man, what a thing of beauty. Brand spanking new. Man, what a beast. Oh, your bad little Honda. You can't see that the guy's turning ahead of you. Always look ahead, dude. Always look ahead. Yeah, I hate to run anything without a case on it. Yeah, I'm not going to get a KFC, honey. KFC thinks they're selling prime rib, not chicken. We haven't been to In-N-Out. Maybe we should try. What do you guys think about Five Guys tonight? What do they call that? The small Five Guys? And right. Now I think we'll stick with the In-N-Out. They give you way too many French fries at the... See, this is much more powerful, this... Yeah, it depends where I'm plugging into, whether this thing is really powerful or not. Now it's really cold because I plugged it into the 12-volt outlet. Five Guys is probably twice as expensive, maybe 3 times. But I haven't been there since the pandemic, so I don't know. And I wasn't all that impressed with Chick-fil-A either. On it with you guys, and I don't know the last time I had some food at McDonald's. I've had a drink once in a while. I wish we had a churches. Yeah, this is so cold plugged into this. Let's be getting more draw out of it. Well, no, number one carry class. I don't have any thawed beef. Then we can take it from there. Then we can spike it up a level from there if you want. Plus, you'd be, even though they keep putting up the price at In-N-Out, you'd be hard pressed to beat the value. You could take that hamburger up to $5 and people would still line up for it. Cold beer here, cold beer. Get your cold beer here. Beer man, cold beer here. Last call, cold beer here. Man, I never saw somebody hustle so much. That guy was flying. See, they put the schleps on the peanuts. You put the best guys on the beer. You know what I mean, Seal. Where are they making their money? On the peanuts or the beer? Imagine how much firefighting equipment is in the state of California between planes and tankers, pumpers. Boy, they took down the whole tent place. Wow, it's all gone. Oh, is this it? Maybe it's the next place down. No, it looks like they took it all down. All gone. They have to take the water in with them. Unless there's, you know, swimming pools they can drop their hoses into, which legally they have the right to do. Any water source that they can find, they're not going to sit there and negotiate with you. A lot of people got pissed off because their pools got drained in Santa Rosa in the big fire of 2017. The guy's like, well, next time let your house burn down. It's like, what the hell? 83 degrees, guys. How delightful. Nobody here tonight. Where the hell is everybody? I think the heat scared everybody off, right? All right, how do your legs look? They look good. What are we doing? Oops. What are we doing? Wow, look at this. This is the fastest I've ever had. We don't have a Whataburger here. just want to get one hamburger, just tomato, onion, pickle, no sauce. Just ketchup and mustard on that, and one French fry. That'll be it.
All right, sir.
In a go bag, please.
All right, man. You got a hamburger, no spare, with onion, ketchup, mustard, pickle, and a fry?
Yep.
All right, man. So it's gonna be $6.72.
Thank you. $6.72. What a great deal. What a freaking great deal. There's Mr. Z's Nissan Sentra. Man, that could be him right there. Trog, I get for you what you get for me. So that way you're not disappointed. You're always as happy as I am. We're always equally happy. Of course you do. That's the best kind of support under an assumed name. That's a damn good deal, man. This guy can't believe that somebody's ordering that little bit. Because there's no place. You didn't give it to me, you gave it to the church. Oh. Oh yeah, he's got a Versa, that's right. Thank you, Alan Gentry. There's somebody who's an outstanding supporter of the channel. Thank you, Alan. Always riding with me, ride or die, man. Like in Vegas, we got you covered, no worries. It usually doesn't, Lee, usually doesn't get this hot, but 100's not unusual for Vegas this time of year, 100, 105. Trog is in La La Land. Yeah, very kind. Alan Gentry is always magnificent. Anyway, Trog, your contribution was definitely appreciated. Hey, Bianca. Yeah, I'm packing in 2 cases of water. Yeah, you're earning your shekels today. I don't think anything's left on this card. Let's see, we got a library card, we got the dentist card, we got a Nike card. There might be something still left on this, I don't know. I got my barbershop card. These people push you behind like you're actually going to be able to go faster or something. Give me a break. hamburger is $3.75 now. Yeah, you don't really appreciate, Lee, when you're on the East Coast, you have to deal with the heat and the humidity, which in a lot of times is worse. And the worst it gets in the West is when you got a monsoon come in and you get high humidity with extremely high temperatures. Man, that is just unbelievably bad. That is literally like a piece of hell right there. Yeah, now when we first started coming here, the hamburger was $2.85. Now it's $3.75. So we used to be able to feed ourselves for like $5 and something. That's it. Malevolent. It's also good for people that have arthritis. I'll be seeing you. Wow, it's only 350 calories for the burger and the fries. Together, 710 calories. Wow. We have the habit, which I don't like. Boy, 83 degrees. What a delight. Cold beer here, cold beer. Get your cold beer. Frog, if ifs and nuts were candy and butts, oh, what a Christmas it would be, my friend. Drew's like, I want to see Rosie selling beer in the game. Man, that guy was hustling the beer. There's a lesson in that for you, Trog. So you memorize that and you use that. Bianca, you're always welcome too. If you just want to come to the Rancho on your own and pick some plums and peaches, you're welcome to do that. Help yourself. I saw you had a post, you picked some plums over in Napa. We're loaded with them. Cold beer here, cold beer. Get your cold beer. Yeah, I think the governors are you know, are the most powerful and most influential voices in Biden's ear because they're the ones that recognize what's going on in their state. So I think that probably if Sunday Biden will come out and ask for some airtime. He'll probably ask the networks for, 5 minutes or whatever, 10 minutes of airtime. And then I'd have a lot of admiration. I would say there's somebody that really, truly, at the end of the day, put the country first. Well, thank you, Patty. Because of you, I'm going to be pulling out the fan and charging it here and getting it all set up. Oh, that one's going to be hanging from the mirror since I'm not going to be live streaming the death run. He'll ask for a cold one and give him a bush light. Let him step up his game a little bit. Maybe there's enough left on this card, I don't know.
How are you?
Good. Could you see what's left on this card? Might be all gone, I don't know. Is there anything left on it?
There's $12.92.
After this?
Yeah, on the
Oh,
card right
wow, I'm lucky. Okay, great.
now. You want to use it?
Yeah.
But you have the hamburger no spread with onion, ketchup, mustard, and pickle and fry, right?
Sounds pretty good.
So now there's $6.20.
All right, thank you for checking that for me. Have a good night. I'm gonna get some little salt packs to take with me for my trip in case I gotta take a quick hit of salt while I'm out walking. Could I get some extra ketchup and salt, please?
Extra ketchup and salt?
Thank you. No, but I saw people buy it. I just thought, what the hell, man? You know.
There you go, sir.
Thank you very much. Burger doesn't even feel hot. All right. Yeah, Billy Carter was a definite negative for Jimmy Carter's campaign. We got police over there. I wonder what the sheriff's doing here. Cold beer here, cold beer. Cops looking at me like, oh yeah? You want I should check your car? Good evening, Rupert. How are you? Hello, Barry. Oh, we still got $6 left on the card. It's like a magic card. Cold beer here. Cold beer. Guy's looking out of his truck. Am I at the stadium? Oh, it feels so good outside tonight. 83 degrees, never felt so good. Cold beer here, cold beer. Get your cold beer here. Last call, cold beer. What a guy, man. I never saw somebody hustle beer like that. I mean, I go all the way back to Memorial Stadium and the Orioles and shit. I never saw somebody hustle beer like that. And the only beer you could buy at Memorial Stadium was National Beer, the local brew, which was a pretty good beer, I must say. It's still being brewed. It's from the land of pleasant living, we bring you National Beer. '82. Yeah, tomorrow's the 4th of July. Guide her through the light from above, through the dew from the mountains, to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. Do, 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 do. You ought to hear this congregation in India do the glory, glory, hallelujah. It's absolutely amazing. You just don't appreciate what you have till you see people on the other side of the world singing glory, glory, hallelujah. 200 people. Amazing. I'm getting ready for tomorrow. I missed the service in LA. It was really good last year. That won't be down there in time this year. Yeah, you got AMA churches in a lot of places. Truly American roots. What's my plan for tomorrow? Bobby's going to be I'm going to shoot some video in the morning. I want to have some content to be able to put up while I'm in LA. Bobby's going to pick me up at 1:30. Janet wants us to be there around 2:30 or so. We'll hang out a bit, probably have some hot dogs and hamburgers, and then maybe do a few fireworks or something like that. It'll all be recorded content because it's always fun to see the boss almost blow himself up. And then Friday, I have to get packed and ready to do laundry. get ready to roll. And then Saturday at 5 a.m. or a little before, I should be on the road. I shouldn't have any traffic situation until I get to LA. I'm telling you, Patty Wakefield, it even makes an impression on people in my chat. When you see somebody that's moving the merch like that, you really get a definition. You should show that in places where you're teaching people to be salesmen. All right, what are we gonna do? What are we doing here? Right, at motivational places. What are we gonna do, dude? Are you gonna turn left into the oncoming lane? I mean, do we know what we're doing? Right, you talk about motivating people. Boy, it's a beautiful time. What is the one day of the year that is a command? May the 4th be with you. Whoa! Yeah, March 4th, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Patty Wakefield, how do you get outside from inside of an elephant? The hand of doom. Man, this F-150 Platinum, look at this baby. Woof. No wonder people love these Fords. Magda, I'm being picked up by Bobby at 1:30 and going down to Boss's in Shannon to celebrate with them. Delightful, 78 degrees. Oh, no, they will not be alive tomorrow. Well, I don't think they'll be alive tomorrow. I'll probably do a morning live tomorrow. Something. Depends what time I get back. Janet's got to work on Friday, so I might be doing a live later. When I get on the road, I might just go live from the road to ride back and go live. Patty Wakefield must be on dial-up or something. 720. Baud rate, whatever. Now we don't have the protective case on the phone tonight, so we got to get used to being damn careful. If this phone is lost, all is lost. Idiot! Good way to die in the hood. No, Patty Wakefield, the answer. How do you get outside from inside of an elephant? Run around till you're all pooped out. Alright, we're walking in the street. We don't know where we're going. We're just random. Just walk across the street. We don't know what we're doing. We got our back turned to the traffic. Back in the hood. Home sweet home. Let's get a water. Let's get hydrated. Let's get a beer. Cold beer here. Cold beer. Get your cold beer here. Beer man, cold beer here. Man, the guy had a perfect voice for hustling brew. I'd like to go in that stadium and imitate him, June, right? And be like, I think I hear an echo in here. Alright, well look, the cooler was a success tonight. Let's be damn careful getting the phone on the stick now. This is the really high risk zone. We should never do this over sidewalk or something. Ever. We should always do this very carefully. Just like that. That's our real danger zone here. Alan Gentry, thank you for the contribution. Yeah, we used up quite a bit of juice for 3 hours. A 3-hour tour. All right. Yeah, is anybody else? What is Amanda Hug and Kiss doing tomorrow? Oh, it feels like the air conditioning's on. Life is beautiful again. Yeah, I bet that beer did taste good. It's good to see you treating yourself a little bit, honey. You had a very rough June. Oh, wow. Oh, no. Say it ain't so. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? The cat's hanging at the door. I even see a little baby out there. It's little Mark's. There they go, taking off like rockets. Boom. What's up, bird? Oh boy. I gotta be careful. I don't have a case. Really a high danger zone here. All right. No, I don't put political stickers on my van. I've never really done that before. We're your little knucklehead babies. What are you doing? Are you gonna attack me? Wow. You've done that a bit more pleasantly. That'll shut you up for a little while. Wow. They've been fed so many times, they're still seeing food down in the bowl. All right. Oh. All right, Patty Wakefield, you should be ashamed of yourself. Which way is this thing? I don't know what's going on. There we go. All right. Nasty food. It's just got put in fresh. The cans are still there. Oh, man. Hey, the better the smell, the better the taste, I always say. I was still on the road. What does that mean, I was still on the road? You was home, that was the difference. I'm not even, what are you talking about, honey? The strip club, or what are we talking about? Take care, Amanda. I mean, what are we talking about? I'll be seeing you in old familiar places. I thought Canada Day was the first. Hey Sherry, how you doing, honey? Let's see. Yeah, please tap the like button if you haven't done so. Someone said meow, and then I realized you were home and not driving. Oh, okay. All right. That's what we're talking about here. Yeah, I was gonna say, Kelly, it's July 1st, right? So I think Queen Cupcake missed it. I don't know. Let's see, I'm still flying the Canadian flag. Don't say I'm not equal opportunity. You don't see an American flag here. sun is going down. It was the first. Oh man. Yeah, it cooled off really nice. Hard to be proud of America this year. Yeah, Cheryl S. comes in. She was in last Friday. Yes, I'm going down to the Boston Janice. Bobby's picking me up at 1:30. We're going to go down there and hang out. Jody's got some stuff going on in her world, so we're down moderators, but we have two of the best. Oh, that's amazing. No, there won't. I've been down there, but I've recorded the last couple 4th of Julys. Last year I didn't. I was in LA, but the ones before, yeah, there's Cheryl. She's got stuff going on. She's busy. So she comes in when she can. I always love it when she's here on Friday nights. When the alcohol flows, it won't flow this Friday because I have to get up early on. Got to get up real early on Saturday to hit the road. Because I don't want to be in the Central Valley any later than I have to be. Is there a school to learn moderator? I don't know. I mean, yeah, the Orioles are doing all right. Their pitching is in bad shape, though. Baby socks, what are you doing? I gave you food. Oh, it cooled off nice. No, it's just you know, moderators have always just something is rarely. I mean, I don't know. This is the 5th in our 6th year. April of 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, so 5 years. Basically with very little turnover or change. I don't know, Patty, because I've always told people don't make me a moderator. Okay, I don't want to. I come to your channel. Don't put a wrench in my. Can you remember your very first mod? My very first mod in the history of YouTube, or my very first mod since I went solo?
Not that.
Yeah, you majored in moderation. No, I don't really like sweets, and he probably got pissed off the other day when you're gonna eat it. I'm like, Scottish Saren, Jen, Mouse Toes were the three real originals. Scottish Saren still comes along. Jen went off and did her, she got all tied up in drama and stuff like that. That seemed to be the thing that she was into. You know, all wrapped up into the rich life stuff and all that kind of stuff. I think the very first, we couldn't go live till 2015. We used to do live streams before that, but when they were over, they never went on YouTube. They were private. So Nicole G and Francis, hey Francis, how are you? And Tara, and some other people, Debbie Lynn, we would do private. And then when I went, I guess, Greg, Greg, and I guess was my first regular moderator, Greg Campbell. I would say.
5 years old, got a challenge. I don't have a fun that nice.
I don't think I ever had a lot of moderators, ever. Maybe some of you guys have been on the channel for a while. I never had a lot of moderators. Harvey came on for a while, but Harvey said it's, you know, he was saying it's late in the UK when you're on, and well, you know, you don't have to be a moderator, and then he got mad for a whole year because he wasn't a moderator, and I'm like, well, you know, which is it? JK No Cow's always been an honorary. Kitten Cat was for a while, but Kitten Cat wanted to move on to the other stuff. Cyanide Cupcake. And then Jody. Yeah, Chick. Who was before Greg? Chick's been here forever. Hey, Lone Hill. I might not have had him on. Oh, Aaron, yeah. Yeah, Uncle Aaron. And then we had a falling out because I had Dave. Somebody I had, he didn't like. You seem to have a lot of mods. I don't have a lot of mods tonight. You just see two. There's channels that put a wrench in everybody's hand, and then they wonder why everybody ends up being blocked. I have very few wrenches in my chat. Hey Granny, how are you? Very few. Greg with TR Prepper in 2006. Yeah, it was 2015. We started that in the summer of 2015. History of the Rosie Extravaganza commemoration video. Well, it's just, if you want to see early Boyd, I have the most extensive archive of live streams that are still up, so, you know. Hundreds of live streams. There's nobody that's, well, I don't know, maybe some people have now, but you want to see the days we only had 10 people on panel, and one night, I don't know how we did it, we even had 11 people, which is impossible. Ooh. The steakhouse was good. The Cattleman's is good. You're going to pay for it, but you're not going to be disappointed. You're not going to be disappointed, Lone Hill. Cattleman's Steakhouse is good. Good. It's trust and believe. It's gunfire. Good evening, EJ. We don't do any, you know. There's not much manning that goes on here. Do, 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 ooh, ooh, ooh. We're going to take this salt with us to Vegas. It's going to help us to keep our electrolytes. We're going to lose a lot of fluids out there. So that's why I asked for the salt. She gave me like 50 catches or whatever. So I need this stuff. You know, places on the outs, when they start to moderate the amount of ketchup they give you, that's your first warning sign. Good night, Alan. Here. When I told people you posted temperatures, did not believe it until I pulled it up. Dude, it's been miserable. It cooled down nicely tonight, but it's been, you know, you're going to get these stretches, and it looks like it's going to be about the same for the next couple weeks. I'm going to put this salt right in the bag. This is going to be important to take on the streets of Vegas. Don't you go in that house, you little bastard.
They weren't rude, but they weren't like too friendly either. The guy is listening to the guy. They were like really on the elbow. That's how I would this was straight.
That's right, hiss at me. Never had a cat hiss at me before. Good night, Lee. I am in the background trying to attend to the door. Ooh, feed them wet food. They depend on you. Patricia Wakefield, these cats ain't hurting for nothing. All right. Overfeeding is not good for health. Kingman's Hot, that's right by Hoover Dam. The kittens aren't nursing anymore. Kittens are running around like zombies here. Rain tomorrow. It's going to be The real heat comes into Vegas next week, if you can believe it. Just when I roll into town, we should be setting records.
No, the women, there's no women out there. Can't go outside.
Magda. That's funny.
Oh, Monker, Monker. They're flying towards the sun now. They're flying left like road. What is it called? There's a good number of them. Yesterday they hit the street and I was like so happy. Hear the sound. Like I talked to you because I could hear them.
Yeah, it's gonna really suck. It's gonna be awful.
And one went that way, but like a couple of them, just one side and the other one, they all came out. 10 minutes. They were out here.
Now you're satisfied. The bottomless pit.
Hunter, I'm so happy to see you.
It was 100 degrees. I bet the high today was higher than that in Kingman.
So the McDonald's at Tuesday, because they have secret codes. So the code talkers, code talkers in World War II. Japanese or Russian, or whoever, Germans, whatever, could have like that. And then we got to have a good code talkers. That's the only resident I know who have the McDonald's and some of their shit. They say that, oh, they got a flag or navigation or something. Got exploited coal, uranium, whatever they dug out of the ground.
Why would your coworkers treat you to Subway?
That was coal. You have grandma that says F you. You have the other ones that sold out and it's like, and then divide rents. You need the water, you little ones. Drink all that water. When it's hot, you drink all that water so it's down. This is cold water. So get spring water. Yeah.
Yeah, Subway. Can't think of Subway without thinking about the footlong. John wants him to keep his 32-inch figure.
Yeah.
Hey, ain't none of his models, right?
Those things better be nice to make sound.
There are little monsters running all over the place.
Look, you know, they love the little things. She was like this. Chase away with it. So, see him one time, he ate with his little friend. He did that with Solstice and Magic.
There's a little monster right there.
Not baby socks. He said baby socks belong to someone else. Not my friend.
This one's getting adventurous.
And that girlfriend. We're coming to new apartments. I have to domesticate you. This is where I domesticate you.
I don't know, Kelly. I have no idea. That I don't know about. That I'm not sure.
Where I work on the other side, they have two cat boxes. White cat.
I haven't seen it around. I don't know.
Got a little condominium, not one, but two. Can't feel
A lot of these cats won't even make it past the first year. They are for carry class. It's all about the big meat. I'm having In and Out tonight. Yeah, the baby's been around for about a month. We'll lose one or two. It's the nature of being a wild animal. I'm usually up this late. Yeah, the birds were going crazy. I think because it was hot last night. Tonight it really cooled down nicely. Or some, you know, as long as it doesn't matter if it's hot in the day, if it cools off to this at night, it's wonderful. I don't know if I like In and Out's fries or not. They're not ever crispy. Tomatoes are doing good. I should be doing some canning when I get back. Yeah, it's nice Carrie class is serious about shape, being in shape and stuff. That's good. That's a good thing. Yep. Rosie still comes around. Now we have Marks, but I haven't seen Marks lately. He's all looks like a little tiger. That was good. Trick is you got to stay active. You got to stay back active. That's the key. Anyway, guys, it's almost been 4 hours tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and close it out. Wish you all an amazingly happy night tonight, and say thank you for hanging with me this evening. I had a very fun stream. We had Cheryl S. Thank you for popping in. People always ask about you. I tell them you always got stuff going on, and you know, you pop in when you can, and that's the way it should be here. That's always the way it should be. So to my moderators, thank you for everything that you do. Our next to last day here in Santa Rosa before we hit the road for Southern California. It's going to be a very comfortable night tonight. So guys, happy 4th of July tomorrow. If I don't see you, in the meantime, have a wonderful night. Hey, Cheryl, when we see you, it's a great thing. When we don't, we still love you. So take care, everybody.